Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a great mountain, there lived a humble farmer named Raju. He was known for his kindness and bravery, though he had never been called upon to do anything extraordinary. Raju lived a simple life, tending to his fields, caring for his animals, and helping his neighbors whenever they needed. He had no riches, no fine clothes, and no powerful friends, but he had a heart of gold. One day, news reached the village that the princess of the kingdom had been kidnapped by a fearsome dragon. The dragon, which lived high up in the mountains, had taken the princess while she was traveling to a neighboring kingdom. The king sent out his bravest knights to rescue her, but none returned. Days turned into weeks, and the people of the kingdom began to lose hope. But Raju couldn't sit still. He had never seen the princess, but he knew in his heart that he had to try to save her. The thought of a young woman in danger, frightened and alone, moved him deeply. I may not be a knight, he thought, but I must do what I can. He packed a small bag with food, water, and his trusted sickle, his only weapon, and set off towards the mountains. The journey was long and difficult. The path to the dragon's lair was steep and rocky, and the air grew colder the higher Raju climbed. But he didn't let the harsh conditions deter him. As he climbed, he thought about his village, the fields he would have to tend when he returned, and the animals that waited for him. He knew he might not make it back, but he was determined to try. After several days of climbing, Raju finally reached the dragon's cave. He could hear the beast's heavy breathings echoing from within the dark cavern. His heart pounded in his chest, but he forced himself to be brave. He took a deep breath and quietly stepped inside. As Raju moved deeper into the cave, he saw the princess, tied up in a corner. She looked frightened but unharmed. The dragon lay sleeping nearby, its enormous body curled around a pile of golden treasure. Raju knew that if the dragon woke up, he wouldn't stand a chance in a fight. He needed to come up with a plan, and quickly. Looking around, Raju spotted a large pile of rocks near the entrance of the cave. An idea began to form in his mind. He slowly made his way over to the princess, careful not to make a sound. When he reached her, he whispered, "Don't worry, princess. I'm here to help you. I'll get you out of here, but we need to be very quiet." The princess nodded, her eyes wide with hope and fear. Raju carefully untied her and led her toward the entrance of the cave. As they reached the pile of rocks, he picked up a large stone and signaled for the princess to stay back. With all his strength, Raju hurled the rock toward the far end of the cave. The sound echoed loudly, waking the dragon with a start. The beast roared in anger, its red eyes glowing in the darkness. It charged toward the noise, thinking an intruder had entered its lair. As the dragon raced toward the back of the cave, Raju and the princess quickly slipped out of the entrance. Once they were outside, they ran as fast as they could down the mountain path. The dragon, realizing it had been tricked, let out another deafening roar and gave chase. Raju could feel the ground shaking beneath his feet as the dragon's heavy steps grew closer. But just as the dragon was about to catch up, Raju spotted a narrow pass between two cliffs. He grabbed the princess's hand and led her through the tight space. The dragon, too large to fit between the cliffs, let out one last roar of frustration and turned back to its cave. Raju and the princess continued down the mountain until they reached the village. The villagers were overjoyed to see them, and news of Raju's bravery quickly spread throughout the kingdom. The king, overwhelmed with gratitude, offered Raju riches and titles, but Raju humbly refused. "I'm just a simple farmer," he said with a smile. "I only did what anyone would do." The princess, however, insisted that Raju be honored. The king declared a grand feast in his honor, and from that day on, Raju was known throughout the land as the farmer who saved the princess. He returned to his village, where he continued to live a simple life. But he was no longer just a humble farmer. He was a hero in the hearts of everyone who knew his story. And so, Raju's tale was passed down for generations. A reminder that true bravery comes not from titles or riches, but from the courage to do what is right, no matter how simple or humble you may be.